Time for some chilled tomato and basil soup. For the tomato and basil soup, there's a tomato puree which I've made at home and will explain in the description. There's the basil which I shall chop up as I toss it in. There's a little bit of sergeant pepper, some garlic chopped up nicely, minced, chillies sliced, and a bit of celery. And that's all there is. No, the drink goes into me and not the soup. That's it, and plus the salt. That's all the ingredients there are, and let's get cracking. So one ingredient I forgot to mention was Popeye's girlfriend olive oil, which is now heating out here. Temperature heat kept at a medium. The oil's heated up, so in goes the garlic, and let the garlic lose its raw smell, and we'll get on to the rest. This time I'm going to let the garlic get a little brownish, not quite burnt, but a touch of that burnt taste will go very well with this soup. Time to put in the celery and the green chilies. The garlic has got nice and brown now, and the celery and chili are getting infused, the flavor is getting infused into the oil. So time to put in our tomato puree, quite a lot of it, as you can see. Now I'm going to cook this and let it reduce, get nice and thick. Then I'll add water and the basil. That really will be all just the salt and sergeant pepper. So I'm going to let the tomato puree come to a boil and cover it, let it simmer for about 10-12 minutes or till it starts reducing. Uncover it, let it reduce more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this tomato puree to a boil, which it's getting there, and then I'll cook it on a slightly slow flame, let it simmer, let it reduce, and when it's finished, we'll just put in the basil and water, and we should be fine. And in the meanwhile, it's got to get a little. Today I've been late starter, so I've got to catch up. So it's kind of reduced a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about half the basil. I'm going to chop it up with my scissors. Yeah, and little more than half the basil right now, and the rest towards the end, so that we get some that is fresh and yet the taste has been fully infused inside. So I've put in about 3.5 cups of water right now, and the basil, I've let the basil put in some earlier now so that it infuses, the taste gets infused. That's my latest word, I haven't used juliennes for some time, so now it's infused is my latest. And so the basil, and about half the basil, and about 3.5 cups of water. I'm going to bring it to a boil and then cover and let it just simmer, because my thing is that with soups, the main thing is to use, to just boil away the soups for a long time. The longer the better, kind of thing. And as an alternative to water, you can use chicken stock if you want to. Normally I like chicken stock in my soup instead of the water, but I wanted the taste of basil and tomato and garlic. Those are the three main tastes in this. and I wanted that rather than the taste of chicken stock, which I love. And it's coming to a boil. I'm going to cover it and leave it till I sort of halfway through this drink. May add a little color. It's about 10-12 minutes, maybe a little more. Let it really, let all the tastes mix up and merge into each other. And then at the end, I'm going to put in the rest of the basil, the sergeant pepper, and a few of the chilies I've kept aside. And an optional thing will be Tabasco right at the end if people still want it spicier, but I don't think it should be necessary. So, time to cover it, reduce the heat, and go and drink and watch. Hopefully Head is still around. Apparently he smashed the shit out of Delhi bowlers. I don't know why they keep putting people in. I don't know why they keep putting SRH in. Everyone does. But cheers. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to strain the soup and really squeeze out all the goodness and taste from the basil leaves, the chilies, the garlic, everything that's gone, and just squeeze it all out. And this is the kind of soup you can have hot or cold, tastes delicious both ways. And given our lovely weather, lovely fine weather, it's the middle of May, no sorry, middle of April, what am I saying? Yeah, given our fine lovely weather, cold, I'm going to put it in the freezer, chill it. Really squeeze, just squeeze the whole, sometimes I like to eat it with the, biting into all the stuff, but sometimes it's nice to get the full flavor, the full effect of the anesthetic for Pink Panther fans. So now what I'm going to do, pop a couple of cubes of ice and pour the soup in this. I'm going to stick it into the fridge or the freezer if there's space, and just let it get chilled while I go get myself a drink, watch Klassen and company hopefully win the game today, and have a great lovely soup. I'm going to put that basil on top. Alright, cheers.